Flash games are great. They were my main source of entertainment back in the 2000s, back when I was still learning what this whole internet thing was about. It was the era of simple yet fun little games that could be pretty much anything. You could be a drill miner on Mars, getting minerals and trying not to explode into atoms. You could play with this grey blob, who's just chilling, minding its own business, by beating it up or throwing Molotov cocktails and ugly babies at it. You could create a zombie virus and destroy the whole world. You could perform horrifying pre-modern surgeries. You could combine a cute outfit with matching hair and makeup. Yeah, the possibilities were endless with Flash games, and pretty much anyone could make one, resulting in these creative, inventive little experiences that changed the online landscape. I have so many fond memories from the 2000s Flash games. You know Snappy the Crocodile? Yeah! It was one of those ringtone mascot characters, much like Crazy Frog, that had this super annoying song you could pay actual real money for and have that as your ringtone. Yeah, it's kind of weird to look back and realize how big of a deal ringtones were at the time. Anyway, the first Flash game I remember playing was one where you shoot a bunch of Snappies to pieces while that annoying song plays. Good times. Guess I wasn't the only one who despised that bug-eyed piece of Thanks to a bunch of lovely, wonderful, beautiful people who have taken effort to preserve Flash games, I still have a chance to play so many games I remember from my childhood. Bloons, Nanaka Crash, Sheepish, Zookeeper, Swords and Sandals, Buck's Head, Alien Hominid, Spank the Monkey, Breeder, Kitten Cannon. Yeah, I might have been too young to play some of these. You can definitely see the internet's cultural climate at the time. Lots of edgy humor, gore and offensiveness for the sake of being offensive. But what about Flash games where instead of developing a messed up sense of humor, you learn an important lesson about real life, like stay away from drugs, don't smoke, stand up against bullies, drive safely, etc. These kinds of informative PSA-like games were pretty common, believe it or not. Flash games were popular among young people, so they were an easy way to spread your message to them. Especially since Flash games were being reposted and shared all over the internet. Like, I used to play at some random site named Funny Games, getting to know games that were originally from Newgrounds, Miniclip or Armo Games. The point is, your marketing could be done for you. Flash games being relatively easy and cheap to make made them only more attractive to organizations. Not only government-tied organizations and such, but activist groups too. After all, they had the same goal of bringing a specific topic to public awareness, so organizations like Amnesty and most infamously PETA made games promoting their mission and values. Targeting young people with informative games is made with an assumption that the medium of games made their audience a bit more receptive. They're more likely to actually internalize the message when they're doing something fun. So instead of teachers nagging about how smoking is bad, okay, how about letting kids learn about the dangers of smoking with a game? But balancing the interactive, fun part of games with a serious, informative message is easier said than done, especially with kids and teens who, when sensing even a slight hint of parental preaching, tend to shut down and refuse to listen. How did the games manage with this challenge? Well, since PSA games are not usually on anyone's mind when thinking about the best, most memorable Flash games, we might already have our answer there. I might have to channel my inner AVGN. These just might be a shitload of what were they thinking situations. Or maybe some of these will be a pleasant surprises. By the way, I used Flashpoint to play these games, and I just wanna commend it and those who made it happen. They have tons of games and animations, from the ones everyone and their mom remembers to really obscure stuff. I'm so happy it exists. Thank you, Flashpoint. I love you, Flashpoint. Yeah, anyway, let's look at some PSA Flash games. You all probably had some form of substance abuse education growing up, right? You remember how super lame it was? It's like the people who made these campaigns had no idea what kids think is cool. I remember seeing these posters where these cutesy goo goo gaga baby cartoon animals were like, "Say no to drugs, yay!" Of course they had a rap song. Yeah, they thought this was so epic and cool. Another issue is that you might accidentally just teach kids how to get high. Like, hey, these are the drugs that are out there, this is how you use them, and this is how you can get them. Did you know you can get high by huffing glue? You know D.A.R.E, the American education program, popular in the 80s and 90s, with the furry lion mascot? Well, studies have suggested since the 90s that D.A.R.E and similar programs might have had no effect at all, with teachers and parents especially noting they might have actually increased substance abuse by kids. Awesome, good job. But to be fair, it's not an easy task to educate about substances in an effective way. Back in the day, it seemed like it was either dumb bullshit like rapping cartoon owls, or scaring kids straight like if you smoke jazz tobacco even once you die instantly. In 7th grade, we went to this guided tour about substance abuse, and I remember in one room there was this wall with a crudely painted picture of a man sitting on a chair. There was a speaker on the picture and this gruffy, deep voice explaining something along the lines of,
"Hey kids, my name is Billy Bobson. I used to smoke and I got throat cancer because of it. So they had to cut off my larynx and that altered my voice and made it harder to speak. Don't smoke kids or you'll end up like me."
It's kinda silly now, but back then I was actually a bit scared. But it was less about the getting cancer part and more about the voice and the picture just being creepy. But yeah, anyway, I vowed to myself to never smoke a single cigarette ever because the scary man on the wall told me so. Didn't work out in the end. Looking back, I feel like it only taught me to be afraid of people that went through throat cancer. What a great lesson. So how were flash games used in substance abuse education? How can these short, simple games teach about a complicated subject like this? Well, according to the games I played, by making the most games imaginable, most of the games were not fun at all. And it's not even like they're fun bad, they're bad. In some cases, that's totally understandable, because some of these are clearly school projects. The people who made them were likely young themselves, and this was their first attempt at making a game. Like this one named Anti-Smoking Campaign. It's just pictures of dudes made with MS Paint and you just read about the negative effects of smoking and watch a couple of animations where someone holds a cig and I guess an atom bomb exploded nearby, turning him into dust. Okay. It's an interesting idea to have kids make these games themselves, like making them learn by thinking how would they make others learn. It's actually a pretty good way to internalize new information, but it's not fun for me to play because it's hardly even a game. There wasn't actually that many drug or alcohol-related games on Flashpoint, which was surprising. It's mostly about warnings against cigarettes. Like in Butt Avoidance, you press arrow keys at the right time to put out cigarettes. Kinda like a rhythm game, except there's no rhythm. I ended up just smashing all the keys all the time and hope for the best. Letting the cigs pass through shows the negative effects on this guy. He's crying now. Wow, what a baby. Is that an aha face? In Cigarette Killer, you stare at the scene in some cafeteria and shoot the cigarettes with a water gun to extinguish them. Who smokes in a restaurant while eating? And this at least resembled an actual game. Too bad there's only one level. Same with Butthead Bash, which was a part of the Smoking Not Our Future campaign from New Zealand. You beat up this big tobacco personification as a Kiwi celebrity. They also tell you how many Kiwis die from smoking annually and what could you buy with a year worth of smoke money. Kiss off, create your beautiful character,
super kawaii,
and seek out kissing partners while avoiding the gross, ugly, smelly, disgusting smokers. You can't make out with same sex, bad game. When you find your target, there's a kissing minigame. The same minigame appears if you get too close to a smoker, but this time you lose points and it's gross and yucky. Ew. Okay, maybe this kind of approach works, like don't smoke or no one will ever love you or want to smooch you ever, because you're gross and smelly. This game has 3 levels. Wow! Quit smoking pissed me off. It's your typical Space Invaders clone where you destroy a pair of lungs, except the lungs don't move at all. And boy, this took ages to finish. It took me 40 fucking minutes. But it felt like 40 years since there's no challenge at all, so the whole time I was bored to tears. I completely spaced out and almost started to hallucinate because my brain was so devoid of stimulation. But I wanted to finish it. I wanted to see what happens when you win. Oh, absolutely nothing. Great. I'd rather snort used cat litter mixed with asbestos than play this game ever again. A lot of these creators seem to think that the best way to make fun and engaging games is making it a quiz. Yay, tests! Just like school! Wahoo! Like this one, HIV, AIDS and drug abuse game. Great name. You walk around in this maze where you have to be pixel perfect to get through, and yes, it was annoying, and answer questions about, you guessed it, HIV, AIDS and drug abuse. I now know that drugs affect the way your brain works, how you make decisions and weigh risks. No way! You get to a helicopter because of course you want to get away from this nightmare AIDS land. Along with quizzes, some of these are simply interactive videos where you get to make choices for the characters in the video. One of these is fittingly named Choices. You're a Scottish lad named Ben who's going to a party and like once in 3 hours you get to choose his actions. Do you take pills from your friend? Do you drink at the party? Do you snitch on your mad lad friend who breaks the window of your stepdad's car? I played the good boy route first, so Ben's friends be drunk and high assholes and got to kiss the lass. On another playthrough, I took the pills and went crazy myself, resulting in Ben jumping to water and I think dying. Ben drowned. Okay, so we had a rough start. Some games tried to be at least a bit engaging, but they were over before you knew it, encouraging you to share your score to your friends. Check it out, guys, I beat Barry Butthead epic style. Some of these really drilled in the idea of flash games being a waste of time. And what did we learn? Smoking is bad. Okay. For smaller children, we have games that are about general safety, like how to play outside without getting hit by a car, what to do if there's a fire, and how to avoid bears and what to do if you encounter one. How specific. Many of these are again just quizzes and nothing else. Street safety with buddy and friends. This one has several mini-games. In the first one, you follow this dog character with tank controls and collect treasures, while being reminded to stay in the yard. You know, like don't run around the streets. The second game is about staying on the sidewalk. It's really specific about looking left and right before crossing.
You are a safe walker.
Yeah, I'm a safe walker.
You're doing great. Fantastic.
This is doing wonders to my self-esteem. Unfortunately, the game keeps crashing, at least for me. It went ape when I tried to play the other games and then refused to open at all. It was a baby game made for babies, but I actually liked the graphics. It was charming and cute, so I'm kinda bummed out I can't show you the rest of the game. Rest in pieces, buddy and friends. A Dog's Life, no, not that one, is just a bunch of animations. The interactivity is clicking on them. Some British dog tells you about his week and how humans acting unsafe and unwise in traffic pisses him off. Like, he bites the tires of some car because it's parked at wrong place.
You can't park there, sir.
Damn, his teeth are strong. Can dogs even do that?
I soon stopped him, though. Don't worry. He got his phone back.
Don't worry, he got his phone back. Oh, ew! Daniel Food Safety Learning. This Daniel character teaches you basic hygiene like, is it a good idea to scratch your ass and then touch food? No? That's correct! Great job! Isn't Daniel from like a baby show? Kinda advanced stuff for toddlers. This is pretty much exactly like taking a hygiene passport test. Like, the questions are not that different. Don't know if that's a thing in other countries, but here if you work in a restaurant you have to get a hygiene passport to make sure you know how to handle food safely.
Burger King food letters.
This one confused me. I didn't know there's a correct way to place groceries in a cart. Does that really matter? Did I learn something new from a baby game? Streetwise. You're a kid going around and you just talk about stuff. But only to other kids. Don't talk to adult strangers. Convince kids that smoking and doing graffitis is bad, and console a guy getting bullied by racists. Wonder if it's okay to study space when there's hungry children here on Earth, and if being homeless is a choice. Argue with some douche record store employee, this grown-ass man who is immediately mean to a child because they want to buy a Justin Timberlake CD. He can't even sing. I like John Lennon. Listen to a grocery store employee named Mr. Tickle, who explains to you what kosher food is. I don't know if you can win this thing. All of my conversations did pretty much nothing. I guess the point is to make kids think about these topics and teach them how to articulate their opinions and act like a decent person. And not to talk to strangers. Unless it's Mr. Tickle. Wipe Out Graffiti sucks ass. It's just a quiz and some clip art guy tells you graffiti is not art, it's never art and never will be art. I kinda get what they mean, but Graffiti Wandel became like one of the most well-known and popular artists of our time. Oh, and graffitis make people feel unsafe somehow. Like, okay, if it's gang or hate group stuff, but who are these pearl-clutching dweebs who get scared by a tag? Like, I don't understand. I don't even acknowledge 99% of graffitis. They're like ads in public spaces. My brain automatically filters them out unless it's something interesting, like it says, God is gay. Now that's thought-provoking art. Yeah, the rest of the game is sentences with blanked words, and you have to choose the correct word to fill in the blanks. I'd rather file taxes or read statistic reports about moss growing on rocks, or watch the paint dry, or watch a James Bond movie. No Gang More is one of those student project vibe games made with MS Paint. It's about gang violence and it's weirdly fixated on race. Wait, what? You solve a maze while this annoying alarm blasts for way too long. The song is pretty epic though. You can't touch any of the walls or you have to start over. Oh, and there's a time limit. This was a pain. Winning level saves the city from gang violence. UV Radical Ray Rampage. This one warns you against tanning and skin cancer. Create a character and shoot at these zombie-like tanners and sunbathers. And of course you have quizzes too. Can't be too much fun. The final boss is the fucking sun itself. This one was okay. I like the art style. And as someone whose skin tone can be described as corpse all year round, I approve of this message. Some games tackle the topic of bullying, or at least they try to. Again, a complex topic is depicted in a way that is so oversimplified it becomes pointless. Recognizing that bullying is bad and you should tell an adult about it sadly doesn't necessarily solve anything. But these games think that simply repeating this message over and over is the way of getting rid of bullying once and for all, and also getting world peace. Who's the Bully is one of those interactive videos again. It's about a dance group where the new member is getting bullied. Your task is to ask some questions and figure out who are the bullies. It might have been the girl who fake out slaps her right in the face and convinces her friend to mess up the dance routine to make the new girl look bad, while she watches with a shit-eating grin. After you're Sherlocking and figuring out she's the bully, she immediately recognizes what she was doing wrong and how the reason she acted so mean was because she's insecure. Just like real life.
That's why she has to earn her place, and that's why I showed her I'm in charge.
Bully Busters. And this is a fun one because you get to draw your character and the bully you're running from. Save some kids who the bully has shoved into lockers epic cartoon style. Does that ever happen in real life? Yes, follow me children. I'm gonna save you from the evil piss puddle. Save the kids, avoid the bully, collect the bully children's school caps and lunch money, and get to the next level. I don't know how exactly is this helpful against bullying. Here's a couple of PSA games aimed for drivers, so you don't hit some dumb kid running on a street. Like Text and Drive, a game showcasing how distracted driving is dangerous. Control the car while replying to text from your babe. And yeah, it's not easy. I couldn't send that many texts before getting into an accident, followed by a fun statistic. In Drunk Driver Championship, you choose a level based on how many drinks you've had and try to control the car and avoid traffic or you explode Michael Bay style. It's kinda like Flappy Bird control-wise. Well, okay, it's pretty much just Flappy Bird. Controlling the car is of course harder the more drinks you've had. This was actually pretty alright. Not the greatest game I've ever played, like a 10 out of 10 masterpiece, but for once I actually had a good time. Or I don't know, my standards might have lowered to the Mariana Trench while making this video. Road Ready Streetwise is aimed for beginner teen drivers. It's about road safety and all the risks young drivers face. You get these quick time events where you have to avoid obstacles on your way. And it looks like the city is full of drunk drivers, people trying to off themselves, clowns, toilets, pianos, UFOs. Yeah, try to avoid accidents here, this place is crazy. Once in a while you pick up passengers, these beautiful creatures that remind me of Mike Klubninger games. But your low poly friends are distracting you, so you have to focus on both dodging the obstacles and using your mouse to block the distractions. It's a challenging game. Things get pretty fast paced already in the second stage, when you have 3 friends in the car, they're all going ape, and there's like a million things to dodge. I messed up a lot, like I ran over a bunch of animals. I'm so sorry, Duck Family. Please forgive me, Turtle. Out of all the games I played for this video, this one's my favorite. I might even play this again. It's not super helpful for real-life driving. The most educational part are the loading screen trivia questions. Gotta have those quizzes, so you can think about all the dead and injured teen drivers. Before getting back to running over clowns and grannies, there seems to be a pattern here. The more PSA-like and educational the game is, the less fun it is to play. Less preaching and more random bullshit equals better game. And yeah, a driving game is an easy way to make something actually enjoyable. Okay, so now we know that smoking is bad, bullying is bad, drunk driving is bad, graffitis are bad, Justin Timberlake is bad, running over grannies is bad. But what if you're chronically online and refuse to go outside? Well, there's bad stuff on the internet too, so we got flash games about online safety. Makes sense, the target audience is already on the internet anyway, so might as well learn how to surf the interweb safely. Level 1. Uninstall Roblox. Name That Outlaw is a minimalistic yet charming little game. A robot describes one of the outlaws who are these creepy, sketchy guys. So it's like, this guy uses foul language on the internet, and you choose which one of these criminal scums fits the description. It's Potty Mouth Pete. Yeah, I know much. The others are legit creepers who want to know your personal information, meet you IRL, or show you things no child should see.
Tell me more, yes?
Yo, what the hell? It might not look or sound like much, and it really isn't, but damn it, I like the robot guy.
Hold on to your hat, 'cause here we go!
A very similar game is Who's Your Friend on the internet. A game show spoof where 3 potential online friends introduce themselves from behind the curtain. A kid who likes kid stuff.
Hello, I like play sports and especially rollerblading. My favorite ice cream is vanilla.
A creepy guy whose hobbies include stalking.
I like to follow people around and not let anyone know I'm doing it. My favorite sport is to pretend I'm someone's friend and trick people.
Yikes!
And a mall-loving bimbo.
Hi there! I love to go shopping and buy stuff. Then I sit with my girlfriends and look at the boys. They're so hot. You go, girl!
Choose which one of these is your friend on the internet. Trick question, no one is. It's all creepy hags.
Yeah.
No, seriously, what the fuck? I like the art style here, I like the character designs, and it's not a bad lesson. You never know if your mutual is actually some lady going, yeah. Wiki Walk. Create your own Wiki OC. Wikis are these ballsack creatures, and play simple platformer levels. Once in a while you encounter an internet stranger who asks you questions like, should you meet them IRL, or tell them your address.
Blast. That was the right answer.
But yeah, that's it. Platforming, stranger, again and again. Willy Bag.
Yeah.
Like we saw with that Daniel game, popular kids cartoon characters were sometimes used to lure children in like, hey kids, wanna play a fun game with Chowder and friends? Well, too bad, because this is an educational game about internet safety. You answer questions, fight a death threat to Panini, answer more questions. They teach you what LOL means. Here you connect ancient hieroglyphs that we used to call emoticons to Chowder's expressions. I think some of these are not right. If you see or read anything online that upsets or scares you, tell your parents or an adult about it. Nickelodeon also had a quiz extravaganza about cyberbullying. Are you at risk for cyberbullying? Question 1. Are you a furry? Not just kidding. It's just a couple of questions about what cyberbullying is, what to do if you or your friend gets bullied, yada yada yada. I'm a cyberbully, Savvy. Yeah, let's go! I think these two are also characters from a show, but I don't recognize them. It's just that I'm probably too old, and besides, as a kid, I refuse to watch anything with real-life actors, strictly cartoons only. Cybercrime Time is a more recent game. It's not super interactive again, just simple choice-making, but it has an interesting idea. It teaches you about cybersecurity by making you the hacker man, working together with the Pringles man. Your task is to steal a secret formula of some energy drink. Yep, that's my hacker name. Yeah, I bet hackers talk exactly like this. Hi! That's the spirit. Let's hack these slurp guys. Devil emoji. We have a full arsenal of cybercrime techniques at our disposal.
Let's do it!
You learn about malware, ransomware, social engineering, phishing, smishing, wishing, bishing, swishing, and many other ways real hackermans use to gain access to sensitive information. We did it! I was invested enough, and I actually learned something new. Wow. Hey, let's look at some more depressing stuff. Some flash games were made by activist organizations where they want to point out an issue they'd like to fix, and mayhaps get donations and signs to a petition. It's not always the big international groups. Sometimes people just want to raise awareness to an issue in society, you know, and this was before Twitter got popularized. I won't take too much time on this, but I'd like to show a few of games related to activism. We're off with a great start. Amnesty games are pure shit. Or can these even be called games? Somehow these feel even more boring than the others with just as little to interact with. There's a hangman game where you guess the line, words save lives. And that's it. No auto levels, the same sentence every time. Great game, huh? Hey, Nevi from the future here. While I was editing this, I learned that this was actually just a banner ad, not like an, actual game. So yeah, my bad. I expected something like guessing the names of political prisoners. It would have been macabre as hell, but shock value is what these groups are often going for, right? Another amnesty banger is March Against Domestic Violence. Yay! You walk up the buildings, gathering more people to your rally, and watch a video of some dude talking about how human rights are neat and that the youth, the next generation, should support them. Yeah, I bet this game helped to achieve that. It's so fun walking around for a couple of minutes. I'm having the time of my life. Another video is introduced as Imagine a world where women are free from domestic violence. It's nothing. The video doesn't work, so it shows nothing. We've all heard of PETA Flash games, right? Controversial games from an even more controversial group. And PETA made a lot of games, varying in quality and gameplay-wise. Some are real simple stuff, like seal slalom. You're sledding as a seal and avoiding these seal-murdering bastards. Luckily, they don't do anything to you. You can't die. In Elephant's Revenge, you're a circus elephant, poning to people who abused you by shooting nuts at them. Now, this is related to actual animal cruelty happening in the world, but how about Pokemon Black and Blue? A bizarre game insisting that the whole world and concept of Pokemon is evil. It even implies that Pokemon makes kids more violent and cruel. What? Do they think that after playing Pokemon, kids start to arrange dogfights or something? I know it's rage baiting, but it's still weird to see an animal rights group preaching about cruelty to fictional animals that don't even exist. I wonder if they care about the Pokemons that look like people. Is this an animal or human rights issue? Anyway, you have a few Pokemon battles against these crazed murderous weirdos, make them realize the error in their ways and save their Pokemons. What is that outfit? Ash became a Tumblr sexy man. J-Lo, her bully from the block, is kind of funny. You're an activist, freeing animals and spreading PETA leaflets, while Jennifer Lopez and her huge ass is chasing you. See, J-Lo used to have a luxury fashion brand that frequently used real fur, resulting in angry protesters and this game. This photoshopped fur coat is quite something. While we're on the topic, let's look at Super Tanuki Skin 2D. This is the one you might have heard about. You're a bored Tanuki because Mario has skinned you alive and stolen your fur, so you're chasing him in this creepypasta lands to get it back. Again, a nice rage bait, guys. I always assumed it's a fursuit. Oh no, look at all these animals he skinned. Cat, penguin, frog, bee, golem, doctor. McDonald's game. Now this one I remember. I played this quite a lot. You're running the company, juggling multiple things at once. You have to raise cows, grow soy for them to eat, make sure there's enough happy workers, and of course keep the numbers up. You can bribe politicians, doctors, and scientists to help cover your more unethical tactics, like cutting up rainforests so you have more room for cows and soy, or failing to notice diseased cows, making everyone sick, or targeting children. Yeah, obviously this game was not made by or endorsed by McDonald's. It's a parody, highlighting the company's sketchy business tactics. As a kid, all of these went right over my head. I didn't know much English, and to me, this was just a nice simulator game. I had no idea I was cutting up rainforests. I like this one. It's challenging and engaging. There's so many things to keep up with, and I already thought out several new strategies for the next tryout. Man, these people are always bitching about something. We're doing fine, shut up! Oh great, the environmentalists are not happy. I wonder why. More smiling. Smile! Okay, you're fired. It's so hard to be a big corpo CEO. Is that a joint? I got stuck when all the land was ruined. Now, there are games that are way darker than this. More graphic and more pulling your heartstrings. Some of these actually bumped me out a little. Just letting you know, if you wanna run your day with a Flash game, you definitely can. Some of the games I found are not exactly games at all. I mean, even less than some of the ones I decided to cover. They're pretty much just PowerPoint presentations. The interactivity is reading. Like this one with an interesting name, Methamphetamine in the Forests, Safety and Awareness Training. Yeah, you just read stuff about meth. Or Diabetes and You, where you listen to these two explain diabetes.
Click one of the buttons to find out more about diabetes overview. Diabetes. Why should you care?
My only entertainment was this.
You need to know about diabetes. You need to know about diabetes. You need to know about diabetes because it is common. There are three. You have to go. Female. As you can see, diabetes can be very serious.
Blessure room is an interactive video where you choose the correct, safe way to do construction work while badass manly music plays. Suddenly I have the urge to buy either supplements or 30-pack burgers. It's in French, so I didn't understand any of this. And This experience made me appreciate the actually good Flash games even more. I was reminded how not every game was a gem like a Line Rider or Bloons Tower Defense or Dad and Me or Spank the Monkey. You had to kinda dig these out from the piles of uninspired, barely playable trash you forgot after 5 minutes. For every stick RPG, there was a dozen quit smokings. Showing how Flash games could really be made by anyone. That's the beauty of it. You didn't need a team, budget or special programming knowledge. You didn't even have to know how to create nice graphics. Stick figures were perfectly acceptable. If you had a good idea, you had a chance to create something special that's remembered fondly as one of the greats from the Flash era. You can let your creativity shine. Some of the Flash games are so inspired, even avant-garde. Now the games we looked at today weren't exactly those greatest hits. The creators had good intentions though, we can all agree on that. There's nothing bad about educating kids on safety, how to navigate in this world and make better choices. Like internet safety education is more important than ever with chronically online kids and the extinction of online spaces for kids only, forcing them closer to the world of adults and predatory algorithms. But back in the 2000s, 2010s, when they tried to use Flash games as a vessel for their message, most of the time they were a bit misguided, making barely passable experiences that were short even for Flash game standards. It's like they were putting the least amount of effort possible. With these games, I doubt they had that much of an impact on their players. My guess would be that when kids played this, most of them just got bored and never paid that much attention to the point of them. I also feel like some of these were used by teachers who forced their poor students to play this like, see, it's a game, you like games, this has to be fun. And it's pretty much just a test on something kids don't really care about like traffic rules. These games, they are too school-like, you know. But hey, it's hard to teach these things in a way that kids fully understand and take in. Like, I get it. Anyway, I'm off to run over some grannies.
Trying